That's an absolute banger. I don't know what tune it is. If anyone knows actually what tune that is, then please let me know. I'm going to give you a little bit of a walkthrough today of a section that I faced in 2022 at the Junipers Ward, which is like the headquarters of Devon Partnership Trust, which is an NHS trust which operates all the mental health services within Devon County. I was taken to Junipers Ward in kind of May, and I stayed there for a few weeks, and then I was taken to Signet Taunton, and I was discharged on my birthday. When I went to the ward I was at before this ward, I was at Signet Blackheath. I've got an SD card, which is mounted into my laptop at the moment, and I have to put my phone on charge in the office every time I put it in. And one time I left, I had a phone that hadn't been confiscated by the police. I had a Samsung where you could put SD cards into it, and a huge amount, swathes and swathes of files of pictures of my father and myself, and lots of family photos and other photos which related to detentions with Signet in 2019 and in 2020 and in 2021. Although that makes me sound very, very crazy, there's been several times I've been sent into hospital, and unfortunately there was a lot of files that sort of went missing, which I can't really account for, and I've got no way of, unfortunately, proving. But what I can do is give you a bit of a walkthrough and show you some other bits and pieces. So one of my things that I did to try and put myself in better stead legally with reference to these detentions, one of which I got a medical legal scrutiny checklist for in 2020, but in 2019 I didn't, 2021 I didn't, and in 2022 I didn't, despite having asked lots of times. This year I've asked again for my medical legal scrutiny checklist, so anybody can write up approved mental health professional paperwork and say that somebody's sectioned. And although it sounds a bit bizarre, it's a bit accusatory, it's a little bit paranoid and ludicrous to suggest that somebody is going to be abducted, or that, you know, that an unlawful section is necessarily something severely underhand. It could be. I've not been mistreated. I've been forcibly medicated, but I've been fed. I haven't been physically assaulted, or nothing dodgy's gone on. But at the moment, I've not had my paperwork to prove that I'm lawfully sectioned. And if you don't have paperwork to prove you're lawfully sectioned, then that's potentially a police issue. The problem is, I wouldn't advise phoning the police from a psychiatric ward if they haven't given you your paperwork yet, because there's every possibility the police will just take no notice of you whatsoever, and they'll probably give you what I call a seek kebab, which is where the police tell you to seek independent legal advice if you feel that a crime has taken place. That tune's still looping around, such a banger. It's just from an Instagram reel with a purple, I don't know what it is. It bangs. Anyway, I better turn that down. So I'm going to walk you through a couple of bits and pieces and then some emails. Let's go through that. So, yeah, I was sectioned. Here's my Facebook page from the time. So all these photos got kind of deleted. This is just stuff, picture I took in Bristol. One of the local Waterstones had an octopus in the window, which I thought was quite funny. So this was my set S136, it's called. At the time, I thought it kind of looked like it was in child's handwriting. If you look at the picture on there, you can sort of see it doesn't look too clever. If I can get it to work, will it? Yeah, it was a little bit dodgy, but I'm sure it wasn't a child that they used to fill out there. The S136, obviously. What I'm saying is, though, that yeah, it was a very poorly put together bit of paperwork, and there were lots of things which didn't seem to kind of quite marry up while I was doing that research into the section paperwork. Some of that will become more clear in a second if this Facebook page stops glitching out. This is my old Twitter, not my old Twitter, but the Twitter that I can't access at the moment. It's going to take me back to the very beginning, isn't it? So I had to scroll back through my timeline for a year ago to get those photographs to show to you. But I've made the mistake of clicking on one of them, and now Facebook's getting confused. So when I was at the Junipers, I made several videos. This is one of them. It was flipped for some reason. It flipped the video, but this was a video just sort of saying that I was in hospital, and that I was sectioned because I'd set fire to a piece of paper. You can watch a little clip of that. Hope you can hear the audio. I'm sure you'll be able to. Hello, YouTube. Never guess where I am. In hospital again, which is a bit shit. Anyway, I was at the Junipers ward, paper at my flat. Annoying bit of paper that someone's over in Exeter, and while I was there, I put in a subject access request. I set fire to it like a dick, and I got arrested.